exciting. It's the first time I'm showing one. I have a separate video about the differences between lace fronts and a chattel. So as you can see, I'm wearing a wig cap because it's really recommended with lace front wigs to wear a wig cap because these are more delicate in nature, and to make the cap last longer, you don't want to like have your own hair and the oils and the dirt get all over that. Now, the other thing that's a little different is that you're supposed to clean your hairline with like rubbing alcohol of some sort. So I'm using like a toner that happens to be very high in alcohol, and you're supposed to just clean your hairline and forehead because you don't want to damage the lace. Here's the wig, and here's the lace. Okay, now I'm borrowing this wig. It's brand new, but since I'm just trying this on and not keeping it or cutting it or anything, I'm not going to be able to have it, you know, optimized the way a wig would be once done. So anyway, I'm putting this thing on. It's going to take a lot of adjustment. Okay, now this feels very tight on me right now. I don't think the cap is big enough for my size large head in the first place, and then I crammed my hair into the wig cap. So if you have a large head, I would request a larger cap made than average. Alright, so let me pull this down to my hairline and we'll get started. Alright, so as you can see, there is a big piece of lace in the front on my forehead. Now, when you actually wear a lace front wig, you don't wear all of this lace on your head. Once you buy your wig, you actually cut with a pair of scissors, or people actually recommend, what I've seen online from lace front experts, is you want to use like the zigzag scissors that people have for sewing, because apparently it helps from it tearing and pulling. And you actually cut it along your hairline. They measure it, and then they go snip, 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 snip. And the reason they give you extra lace is that you can actually kind of customize how far out you want it to be. Like, most people who wear lace front wigs actually glue or tape them to their foreheads, which gives it a very realistic effect. Now, you wouldn't be taping all this down. It would be literally like a millimeter or two from this hairline, and they just tape it down. Now, I've also seen that some women don't like to tape down their lace front wigs, which I agree. I wouldn't want to have glue on my forehead all day, so I wouldn't do that. But there are ways. You can actually sew clips in them. You can just, I actually think a eye grip or one of those bands, any brand is fine, would keep this on. And actually, this is so snug on me right now with my hair in here and it being like too small for me that it's really snug. Like, this is not going to come off, okay? But let me show you. So lace front wigs, the hair goes back. So you can actually have that kind of natural hairline that you had before you ever covered your hair. But these things are kind of high maintenance. Like, putting it on takes a little more time, and it is a little bit difficult to get it look really natural in the front. What people do is they actually pull out a little bit of baby hair of their own hairline, tease it out a little bit to blend it so it looks more natural. But I mean, the cool thing about this is that you could literally be like, all right, I'm gonna wear it half up, I'm gonna bump it, you know. I mean, you can't wear this kind of style with a traditional chattel, because as you can see, this hair goes forward. I talked about this a lot in the video. Lace front wigs, the hair is sewn back, and this particular lace front, all the hair is hand tied, which means it's very versatile. So if you wanted to put it up in a ponytail, so here you see my flaps coming up, but that would not be the case if it was taped down or had clips. And my hair is too long, but as you can see, you can really, I don't know if you guys can see this, but you can totally do a ponytail. There's no clips in this or anything. You can totally make a ponytail because the hair can go in any direction. And so they actually have a really natural look to them. I mean, obviously, like, hairlines are all different. And so if you have a widow's peak, or you have, like, you know, a receding thing here or whatever, the lace fronts are not as, like the way they come just standard are not going to reflect your natural hairline per se. And the other thing is the skin top is not as apparent. I mean, there's definitely space between there, but it's not like a white color. It's kind of showing my wig cap, but it's kind of dark because there's nothing under there. So what some people do, actually put white medical tape on their wig cap under the place of their part so that it looks white and that the white shines through. So there's all sorts of things you can do. But again, this is like a whole nother realm of like wig wearing. Like it's definitely like for the advanced wig wearer. But I'm already happy to sing this style. That's literally just like how I used to wear my hair before I ever covered my hair. Like literally, like I used to just like have this side part thing going on. Like just to the side, out of my face, whatever. And then the worst thing ever was like, then I got married, I got the shaitel, and all of a sudden it's like, the hair was like this. And I just felt like I couldn't see in my face and I looked like a different person. And that's why I ended up wearing mostly falls, because falls also go back. But falls don't solve the problem for people who either want to cover all their hair without showing anything. And it doesn't solve the problem for people who don't want to have to wear a headband, or people who don't want to have to pull their hair over. Maybe they're bald in the front from shaitel clips. So with a fall, it's like you always have to wear a headband, or you're gonna have to clip your hair over, or you're gonna have to wear a hat, or you're gonna have to wear a scarf. Like you're gonna have to do something. You have to think about it. You're gonna have to think about, is my hair dyed the right color, because it shows a little bit in the front. Even in front of a headband, it could show. So it's not as easy as it seems. Okay, with a lace front wig, I mean, you cover everything, so you don't have to worry about those issues. But there are all sorts of other things with lace front wigs. I mean, they're delicate, and you don't want to, you can't just be like throwing it on and throwing it off, and the lace could get damaged. You have to treat it very gently, delicately. Like I cleaned my forehead with alcohol before putting it on, because you don't want to damage the lace. You don't want to get it dirty. So just those little things are complicated. And also, you'd have to be very careful. Like if you're going to sew clips into this thing, you want it done by a professional seamstress, because you don't want the sewing needle to make holes in the cap, because if you make a hole in the cap, then it tears. Once the lace tears, it's going to be hard to repair perfectly. You know, I mean, we're talking like a piece of lace, so it could just tear and rip, and then that's it. Your shaitel is ripped. It's ruined. It like needs to be majorly repaired. It could be expensive. So you have to be very careful. But I mean, like most of the actresses you see in Hollywood, if they're wearing wigs, they're wearing lace front wigs. They're not wearing Jewish shaitels with the like bangs in their face, okay? They're wearing this kind of wig, okay? So I just am saying, like, it can be a very good tool. This is like styled nothing. This has no cuts. This is brand new, and it's just how it is. But this could be, you know, any cut you want, any layer, it can be styled. So, but yeah, the main thing that makes this so distinguished from like a shaitel is this hairline, which again would look much better if I didn't have to keep this lace on it, and I cut it to the shape of my head, and then I actually like teased out tiny little bits from my hairline. Like I'm not even talking like hair, I'm talking like that fuzz that, like, you know, like I saw someone on YouTube, they took a toothbrush, like an old one they don't use anymore, and they like just went around their hairline a little bit, and they pulled down tiny pieces of hair. Okay, so that's things you can do to make it look more natural. And then I think the idea of having like a white wig cap, like tape over where your part would be, is going to make the part show up more, so that it looks like, you know, a real skin versus like, but look, this is so easy to just part, you know, change it in any direction you want. Here's the part, right? Looks awesome. So yeah, very cool, very different. I really recommend it.